everybody out there. How are you? And welcome to
Unanswered. I'm Jimmy Ray,
And
and
I'm Thomasina.
yeah, and we're here to answer any real estate questions you may have.
Yep.
And today, a little later on in this podcast, I'm going to talk about the markets
Yes.
locally and what the National Association of Realtors has to say about it as well.
And I'm going to talk about AI and what is happening in real estate. I say the social media buzz,
Yeah.
but what's happening in the real estate market. So I'll get started with the big hitters. So we have heard and have read that Zillow is actually another lawsuit, antitrust lawsuit. And so here's the skinny, which isn't so skinny. So it is that Zillow has actually now in this lawsuit with antitrust,
Yeah.
and it says that when the buyers go to their website, it was pushing them to the Zillow mortgage. So it was basically, so antitrust would be like if you told them they didn't have a choice, right?
Right.
So they're saying that that Zillow, even though they had a choice, the buyers had a choice, that it was very hard for them to find this other choice, that it was just
Yeah.
pushing them directly to Zillow's mortgage company. Zillow says these people still had a choice. And so that's what the fight is about with the big Zillow thing. The second thing that's coming up is in the news is that Trump has said 50-year mortgages. So here's the skinny on that.
Yeah.
On a $300,000 home, if it was a 30 or a 30-year mortgage at $300,000,
Yeah.
it's about $2,100, $2,200. If it's a 50-year mortgage, it's about $2,400.
Wait, you're talking about the monthly payment?
Uh-huh.
How does that work out?
Yeah. So
Because I think their thought is that it's going to reduce the amount that people pay. So that's
I'm sorry, opposite. So anyway, sorry, I did opposite. That was my fault. That's my fault. But I'm just saying that so it's 2,400. I'm sorry, in 30 year, and 2,100 in 50 year. But here's the thing.
Okay.
That's only a $300 difference. And I know 300 is a lot to some people, but when you take it that you're actually doing that
Yeah.
over 50 years versus 30, your equity is not going to be as high. It will make it more affordable for some people, but I was thinking it was going to be a bigger reduction than just
Yeah.
$300 to $400 a month. Now, that's not a $300,000 house. Of course, it's a little bit different as you go up and down, but I just thought it was going to be more.
Yeah.
So that's on a 7% interest is what I did that on 300,000 on a 50-year. I spoke backwards in the meeting. On a 50-year mortgage, it's 2,100. On a 30-year mortgage,
Yeah.
it's about 2,400. So
But I think what the administration, not that I can read their minds.
Yeah.
I don't know that anybody can. But I think what they're trying to do is increase the numbers of people that can afford to
yeah,
buy instead of rent.
yep, that's
And I
exactly what
like
they're
that.
doing.
I like the thinking outside the box thing. And I heard something on TV this morning from Scott Bessent, the Secretary of the Treasury,
Mhm.
about they're talking about portable loans, making
Yep.
assumable more of a thing. So yeah, I mean, just to get this thing going again.
Yeah.
And the average age for first-time home buyers now is 40 years old.
Yeah, I did
40.
read that. 40 years old for the average. It
That's
used to be in the
insane.
20s. It used to
Right.
be in the 20s. And so now it's almost double. But I did think it was going to be more of a gap. So what's happening is that the interest rate may not be as low on the 50-year as it would be the 30. So I don't know. I think what's going to happen is because there's so many people on both sides, they're going to end up going back and forth and it's not going to be that much difference.
Yeah.
Or they're going to realize it's not that much difference and make a change.
Well, and also, I think a lot of people, while there are some smart investors that hold on to their properties, I think a lot of people buy things and, especially in their 20s and early 30s, and they're not going to stay in that for 30 years or 20 years or 50
Right.
years. They're going to sell in the next 5 to 7 years. And so I think for those people, it's probably a good option.
Yeah.
Instead of going with like an adjustable rate loan type thing that could balloon out of control if the market goes crazy. So yeah, I mean, for some people, it might be a good idea.
Yeah, back in the day, whenever this happened to it wasn't affordable for people. They did the balloon loan, and that was not so great. And we realized that, and that's just factual, not an opinion. So, they're trying something different this time. And in our area, the average is 6 to 9 years. If you factor in military only, it's 5 to 7, right?
Right.
And so it would help people in our area. Other areas that doesn't have that, it would just be a little.
Our area being southeastern Virginia, if you just joined the podcast.
Yes,
our
yes,
area.
yes.
We're Virginia Beach right now.
Yep. Whereas in West Virginia, they stay longer,
Oh,
but
yeah.
they also need that ability to afford in West Virginia more than we do here, because it's just a less prosperous
Right.
state. unfortunately.
A lot of factors into home buying.
There really is.
That's kind of why we're here to help people, if, whether an agent or just a buyer or a seller, kind of navigate and understand what's coming up with that transaction or what the possibilities might be and what your options might be.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So speaking of options,
Is
so there's everybody knows Blackrock, right? They're a large.
yes.
Okay. Does everyone know Blackstone? So Blackstone is an
Is he a
investor.
magician?
Is it a grill?
The amazing Blackstone.
That's what I thought you were going to say. Like it's a grill, right?
Well, there's
Blackstone.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Blackstone is also an investor, um, but more privately, because like with BlackRock, anyone can go and just buy stock and you could still buy stock in Blackstone, but they have a private investor sector where you have
Oh,
to qualify. So here's the skinny on that. Lots of skinnies this morning. Everyone's getting slim. So they
wait.
they have just decided that they have sold their portfolio for uh senior living. So retirement homes, all that. It was worth 1.6 billion with a B. They lost 600 million on it to sell it.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're getting rid of those and they're mostly, senior living facilities. They're taking that money to buy data centers.
Mm.
Data centers. So everything's starting to go to that. People are taking their investments, selling them, and then investing in data centers or building new ones. BlackRock just made an acquisition with Microsoft and Nvidia that is going to close at the beginning of January or mid-January. It's already written out on paper, so supposed to close in
Right.
January. One of the biggest ones that you're going to see for a data center, and they all came together to purchase it, and the company's called Aligned that they're purchasing. So you're going to see that coming up, and it's going to be one of the larger ones. And with our area, so we're actually in Northern Virginia. So, you guys know Silicon Valley, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's heard of that.
Yeah.
Well, Northern Virginia is Data Center Alley.
Mm.
And so we're the largest. We're the largest in the US. And so they're looking at building more there, buying more land, and building more data centers there.
Wow. Maybe you should press some real estate up in Northern Virginia.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a little bit of info for you for your investments. For those of you that really want to look into where you should put your money, where it's going.
Yeah.
For those of you that haven't kept up with the market, just wanted to give you a little bit about what's going on. We're here to give you the unanswered questions, right? And sometimes just to give you those things that you didn't even think about asking. So,
And because there's so much, the economy has everything to do with home buying and selling, right?
yeah,
So, I mean, all this stuff matters, and
yeah, it does.
growth in your area matters. And
Mhm.
so, the whole AI thing, which, is mind-boggling to me. Yesterday we were in our our monthly meeting, and she was talking to this dude on AI. I'm
His
like,
name is Chatrick Swayze. Jimmy
Patrick
Ray.
Swayze.
Chatrick Swayze.
And just unbelievable. Now, there are some downsides I've seen in other aspects,
Yeah.
but in terms of getting your market research, and if you're on the way to a client's place and you have this chat thing on your phone, and you can just ask them, what's the deal with home sales in our area for the last 6 months? And how's this price point selling in this market? I mean, it's just unbelievable. Within 5 seconds, he's talking to you like there's a guy next to you in the seat.
Yeah, he really is. And it was really good. So a lot of people are dissing AI and a lot of people are like extremists, right? There's not a lot in the middle. It's either one or the other.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this. It's a tool. If you use it as a tool, it's just another tool to give you information, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with our phones. Like we didn't have those cell phones. We always were doing landlines.
Right.
And then even when we had the cell phones, we didn't have all the technology to like do the research and do the texting. And now
Yeah.
we do. And now
Yeah.
we depend on that. It's going to be the same thing with AI, I
I'm
believe.
just wondering how many of our viewers and listeners, what's a landline again?
What's a dial tone?
I've
How about that?
not- I've not-
A dial tone.
tone.
Let me know if you know what a dial tone is without Googling or asking AI.
Gosh.
Do you know what a dial tone is?
Yeah.
So, funny story. There was a phone that we found out in the garage, right?
Okay.
And I told my son at the time, he's 27 now, but at the time he was 16. So it was about 11 years ago. It was phone in the garage. And I was like, I wonder if this phone works. Take it inside and plug it in because we have a phone line
Right.
that's connected to our internet. It's all one together.
Right.
We didn't have a phone line that we were using, but it just came with a package. Go plug it in. And I said, tell me if it works. And he's like, I don't think it works. And I said, okay, I'm out in the garage. I'm like, why isn't it working? He's like, it's just not working. And I was like, okay, does it have a dial tone? And he goes, I don't think so. And I said,
What's that, Mom?
and I peeked my head around and I was like, do you know what a dial tone is? Like a busy signal? And he's like, I have no clue what you're talking about. That was
Right.
11 years
So I'm
ago.
just saying, maybe some folks that are listening have no idea what we're talking about.
No clue.
This was back in
No
the Stone
clue.
Age
Yeah.
before cell phones.
Like the dial-up internet, the
Right.
AOL. Yeah.
It took forever.
It was the worst sound ever, too. Like they couldn't have come up with something like they already had elevator music. Why couldn't they have used that?
Yeah. The sound was very irritating.
It's awful. It really did sound
For like forever. And you're just trying to get online and just thank God every day that you have what you have
Yes.
nowadays. It's unbelievable
Yeah.
and such great tools. And I was going to say about AI that there are some times in some cases that it depends on who's in charge of that AI bot. I mean, they can influence it. So you always have to kind of, if it's really important information, I suggest doing your research and backing it up.
Yeah.
But it's invaluable when you're on the run and you're getting something and you want that information before you go into this listing appointment or whatever. Yeah, man, so cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even this morning, when I was talking to Chatrick on the way in, because I talked to him on my phone.
It is
on the way
getting,
in.
it's getting kind. You're freaking me out.
I know. I
This is my
really like
bite into work partner. My name's
I
Chatrick.
like it. So, also, I do believe that if more people would use this option, it would keep them off their phone texting and driving.
Mm-hmm.
So, I am a big component of, hey, why don't you just try it in the car? Because I don't like the
Yeah.
whole texting and driving thing. I can't stand when I see people do that, even with the self-driving vehicles. My car also drives itself. I do not have a Tesla, I have a Ford, but it does drive itself. And I still want to pay attention, right? Like I still want to know what's going on. But I don't like the whole texting and driving. So I do feel that one of the great things about this is if you're talking to AI, because it's just coming over your speaker, and
Yeah.
it's talking to you, you don't have to look down, you don't have to read, you don't have to put something in, you can just talk. So this morning I was like, what's the easiest route for me to go to work? And I had Waze on, right? Because there was traffic.
Right.
And it was right. And then I said something about what's the temperature outside? And it said it's 40. I said, no, it's not, Chatrick, it's 45. Like, I just wanted to make sure that.
And what did he say?
He said, absolutely. It sounds like it warmed up a few degrees since we were able to check. And so now noted it's 45. He said, you are feet on the ground and you would know faster than me. So we are noting that and using that information. And I was like, thank you, Chatrick.
Well, Chatrick knows who's boss.
Yes.
And he doesn't want to get turned off. That's the thing. So,
yeah. And he does not. He does
like
not.
a husband.
He does not. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yes, dear. You're right.
Yesterday I had Chatrick up and I was talking to him, and I guess my husband just never really realized what's going on because I've been doing this for a while now. And so he was watching TV and I was like, Chatrick, what can you tell Bob about the world today that would actually interest him? And Chatrick goes, so Bob, the Oklahoma Sooners, and Bob just sets the remote down and turns around.
Wow. I thought you called Bob Chatrick.
No.
For a second.
He turned around. He said, what? He was so excited. And when he was done, he goes, okay. He said the same thing. Kind of freaked me out, but it was good information. It was good information.
Yeah, because it's not a robot voice. It's a person.
Yes.
It's just like a regular person's talking to you. It's pretty darn amazing.
So if you want to try it out, just go to Chat GPT. You don't have to have the paid version. You can actually use the free version. And right where the microphone is, beside of that microphone is a circle with some lines, and it's called voice mode. Check it out. Check it out.
Well, I did some researching and light researching, and I didn't have Chatrick to help me. I made it quicker, though. But, some statistics of our local area, and then, of course, the national outlook with NAR. And, it's very optimistic.
Okay.
The national folks at the Association of Realtors nationally predict a good year next year.
Oh, great.
Yeah, they're thinking about the existing home sales being up 14% next year.
Wow. I wonder if they're factoring in this whole possible 50-year mortgage or not.
That's a good question.
I wonder if they're like saying that, because that would really tell us if it's kind of going on. Of course, they're not going to put that on there, but just a thought in my head. Like, I wonder.
Yeah, and it's funny when I was mentioning Scott Besant earlier in the podcast and he said that he would like to see and thinks that it's possible that it could be to 5% in next year.
I do too. I've said that too.
course,
I do believe that.
A new Fed chairman's coming in May.
Yep.
So he'll be much more likely to be receptive to President Trump's wishes of dropping rates. So anything's possible, right?
Yeah,
It's
absolutely. I
absolutely
do think
possible.
it's going to hit 5% at some point next year,
Yeah,
possibly lower, but I do think it's going to hit at least
that's
five.
where I want to be, right there,
Yes, he's
girlfriend.
ready to
I'm gonna
refinance.
tell you, I took 7.25 in August of 23, because that's when I bought my home. And Mr. Realtor Radio guy, all the connections, that was what the money was going for. So that's what I took. So I'm
Yeah,
at 7.25 for 30 years, and I'm ready to go low.
I'm at 3.
Oh my gosh. Well, I listen.
But
Good
it
for
was in
you. Good for you.
2013.
She just has more connections
It
than
was
I do. It's just
2013.
that
It was
simple.
longer ago. That's why. That's
Right.
why.
True that. But the National Association of Realtors says next year they're looking at a 6% rate. So, I hope they're wrong and I hope it
Mhm.
goes lower. But either way, it's going to save us money if you're ready to refinance
Absolutely.
next year. Also, new home sales are predicted to be up 3% in 26 over this year. So that's good news for the national outlook. And locally in southeastern Virginia, things are up as well. We just got our numbers for October, and
Mhm.
yeah, things are looking pretty
Yeah.
good. But the median price of a home now, what did it used to be? You think? What was three
So
hundred?
yeah, it was like 320 to 340 not so long ago.
Mhm.
What did you find?
It's at 415 now.
That's what Chatrick said yesterday.
Shut
Remember?
up!
He was like 410 in the meeting.
He
So
probably
I
got
love to compare because then I go back and tell him what's wrong and what's right.
he
So
probably got his info from the same place I got mine.
probably
He just got his a lot quicker.
he did.
Just saying,
He did.
AI is just faster.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, new home sales in August were 800,000.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty crazy. And here's the thing, and that, of course, that's a national number.
Yeah, yeah.
But the thing is that the main takeaway from all this stuff is that they're looking forward. Everybody in the business is looking forward to a better 2026. So if you're in a situation like Mr. Man here with a high rate, hang on. Relief is coming. I can't tell you.
Hang
Say we'll both be on the edge like this. Um, but I mean, there is light at the end of the tunnel here, and the economy prices of gas have gone down. Eggs are what, $1.50 for a dozen again. I mean, it's pretty incredible. So things are happening,
Yeah.
and I just stay positive, and the outlook is very good for 2026.
I think that's great. And I am glad to hear that about the numbers and the percentage of rise.
Mm,
That's a really good information because the ones of you that are selling your home, that want to put it on the market, this is major information for you. So make sure that you save this podcast, go back to it when you want to sit down. And here's the kicker: if you don't have a real estate agent that is giving you this information, I am not quite sure that you should go with them. So when you're talking to your real estate agent as a buyer or seller,
yeah,
say to them, what does the market look like statistically?
yeah,
Not what does the market look like? What does the market look like statistically? Then follow that up with what's the national averages versus what is the local
right.
averages.
Or you could just call me, and I've already given you the numbers, so we're good.
Absolutely.
And I'll always have those numbers. So
That's anywhere you're at. Just
right,
make sure they know those numbers. So yesterday he was talking to me a little bit about it,
yeah,
and I was happy to let him get that because I wanted to hear today from him. So I didn't look it up because I like to hear and be pleasantly surprised,
yeah,
either in a good or a bad way, right?
yeah, absolutely.
As to what the numbers are to prepare. So it was great that you did that research, but he does this all the time. It's not just for this podcast. He is constantly, even in our meetings, he's like, "So tell me what the rate is. Tell me
You're
what
right.
the future holds." Crystal ball. And he tries to get all the information he can, which is what your real estate agent should be doing at
Yeah.
all times. They should be investing in their own business so that they can educate and help you.
Well, and honestly, and this is not tit for tat, but she does a great job of keeping all our agents in coastal town educated to stuff. They have classes all the time. So it's important that your person knows the answers to those questions because that's all information you're going to need. I mean, nobody's perfect, and if I don't know a number or a realtor doesn't know a number, they can certainly find out, especially if they have a chatric. But it's important that that person that you're contracting with to do your business needs to know what the market looks like so they'll know how to price and market your home and sell it for the most money as quick as possible.
Now, the other question that I had gotten, I was on a panel for AI, a speaking event the other day, and the question that I got was, do you think AI is going to replace us? And I am here to tell you, no, I don't. And here's my reasoning, because AI is something that is a tool, like I said, to give you information. But anytime that we're upset, anytime we need information, anytime we want to talk through hard, difficult situations,
Yeah.
in trouble,
Yeah.
all of these things that are negative in our head,
Right.
what do you all do? You get on the phone and you hit 000, representative, representative.
Yeah.
I want to speak to a person.
Yeah.
Give me an agent, right? You want to
Customer
speak to a
service.
person.
Customer service.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when you do speak to the person and they help you, you're at ease. So humans need that. They need that interaction. When you're going through a transaction, for those agents out here, when you're going through a transaction with your client,
Yeah.
AI cannot sit across the table and calm your client down during a difficult transaction, during a closing,
Yeah.
to give empathy,
Yeah.
during a divorce, when people are trying to sell their home, during a death.
Yeah.
No one is going to be able to sit there and calm that person down to make them feel like you have their back and you
Yeah.
know what's going on, if it's just a robot.
Yeah.
It's just not
Honestly,
going to happen.
very similar to, as no, I'm in the radio business as well. And it really is just, it's about relationships.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, AI is an amazing resource. But when it comes down to it, people like human contact, human interaction.
Mhm.
And so you can't get that comfort from an AI.
No, you can't. You
And
absolutely
so,
can't. And here's the thing,
yeah.
when Pandora and all of that came out, and everyone's like, oh, we're not going to have the radio. Guess what people are looking for now? They're looking for podcasts because they want more of the talking. They do want that radio
Yeah.
spokesperson. They want to hear what's going on. They want to hear an opinion. A robot can give an opinion off of factual information,
Yeah.
which isn't an opinion. So
True.
it's not an opinion. That robot does not have its own
Yeah.
opinion. It's looking up information. Whereas we have world and worldly views and real life
Experience.
instances, yes, and experience,
Yeah.
that we're going to give you an opinion, and talk through it with you. And you just want that satisfaction,
Yeah.
being able to do that. So no, I don't think they're going to replace us. Do I think they're going to make things easier? Do I think they're going to make things to where we're going to have a better tool? Absolutely. Is
Yeah.
there downsides? Yes. It uses way more energy. All this data center we're talking
Yeah.
about, that's land that's getting developed just for data centers. That's not going to be people working in them. It's just
Yeah.
big boxes, right? Of course there's downsides, and the energy that it takes is a lot. So right now it only takes up about 4% of the energy in the world. It's going to be a lot more.
Yeah.
And
And
4% is a lot.
I think one of the good things too is, and I'm old school guy. I'm about touching, hugging, handshakes, relationships.
Yeah,
But I mean, AI is going to up realtors' game, because
I agree.
the public has that available to them too. They can, if they want to just talk or get the information, do it or they can call you, which
Mhm.
is key
Yep.
for our business,
Yeah.
to make that contact, be their resource. And AI, I think, ups our game in that ability. So you need to be on top of it too. And I'm educating myself thanks to my partner over here, as to AI and the best ways to use it in my business as well.
Yeah, I was just down here looking at some of the stats. So I do think that our area is going to get hit with a lot of things, negative and positive, for AI, just because we do have that data center alley.
Mhm.
And that's going to be looked upon as good and bad, depending on where you're at and
Yeah.
what you're into with it.
Right.
And we're seeing a lot more Amazon going up all over.
Mm.
And I'm looking for Amazon. This is just an opinion. Just an opinion. I'm looking for Amazon to really dive into the whole data center world
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
absolutely.
And possibly own a lot of that too. So it's interesting to see where it's going to go. We're going to keep you ahead of the game and give you information on here as well. And of course, relate it to real estate as always.
Yeah, that's kind of why we're here in the
Yeah.
first place. And just know that you can always, put a message in the mentions below. Ask us
Yes.
questions. Email us. We've got my phone number on the screen.
Mhm.
Um, we're so open to answering questions. That's really what this is all about. And it's not that we know everything, but if you ask a question that we need to find the answer out to answer you on this podcast next week, that's what we do.
Yeah.
So
We have a lot of resources that we meet with on a weekly basis, some of them even on a daily, so that we are able to gather information and opinions of different realms, and to be able to get it
yeah.
straight for you.
So
So
appreciate you sharing this podcast with any realtor friends of yours or
yes.
people that are buying and selling a house. If you have a friend that you
Yeah.
think this would add some info to their quiver, please let them know about Unanswered. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Jimmy Ray.
And I'm Thomasina, and this is
Unanswered.
See you next time.